And right now here in the movement, a lot of what happens is we get comfortable and we stay in our comfort zone and we just invite all the people that are just into this one movement. But the problem is all of those people already know what's going on and they're already fighting and they're already in the courts and they're already doing everything possible. We need the backing of the people. We need the backing of other organizations fighting for justice, racial justice, environmental justice. We're in a time right now where homelessness is at an all-time high. That's absolutely ridiculous. When Sacramento awards the police department with $500 million, do you know what we could have done with the $500 million? Okay, and then they're incarcerating BIPOC people just like it's nothing, like whatever. We have people dying in the streets right now too, and you guys aren't knowing about these things because we're all very focused and we're very motivated in our own areas. So today what we're going to do is we're going to share stories. Different organizations are here, different types of people are here, and we need to learn to show up for one another. And the best way to do that is to learn what we're fighting for, and then also as a result understand that we're all fighting for the same thing. We're all fighting for freedom, and we're doing it on 4th of July because I'm going to tell you something right now. Indigenous people, we call it 4th of July because we are not independent. And you know what? We're not free until we're all free. All right. And I just want to let everybody here know that the reason why Indigenous people don't do land acknowledgement, the reason why Black people don't do a land acknowledgement is because we know whose land we're on. We, Indigenous people, this is our land, and then Black people, they built this land up. We all are very aware of the land that we're on. This is for everybody else to learn and to be able to honor the peoples whose these buildings sit on top of their villages. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanda. It's my honor to read this land acknowledgement. As we begin our journey, we acknowledge the history of the Sacramento area and the people. It's rich in heritage, culture, and tradition. This area was and still is the tribal land of the Miwok people. Sacramento was a gathering place for many local tribes who have lived throughout the Central Valley and the foothills for generations and were the original stewards of this land. We would like to acknowledge the Southern Madu people to the north, the Valley and Plains Miwok people to the south of the American River, and the Patwan Rancheria, the only federalized recognized tribe in Sacramento County. We acknowledge that we are standing on the tribal lands of Sacramento's indigenous people. These tribes have lived in this region since time immemorial, before hostile takeover of native lands by settlers, land barons, and gold miners who established the Sacramento region. We also acknowledge this country was erected and sustained by the work of enslaved peoples of Africa who were forcibly abducted from their homeland and whose descendants were forced to provide free labor. None of these people have ever received any reparation for this harm and their labor. In our commitment to the work of dismantling the harmful effects of colonization and white supremacy, we understand acknowledgement is only the first step toward honoring Native, African American, and all other disenfranchised communities. Reconciliation, decolonization, and correcting the history of the founding of these United States are our next steps. We pledge to do the work necessary to support these communities, create more inclusive and welcoming spaces, invite learning, allyship, co-conspiratorship, resource building, and care towards strengthening this community of humankind. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm the founder of an organization called Women with Bows. And, well, all right then. So what we normally do is do extreme mutual aid, and we do it across the country. We also stand the front lines for water and land and tribal sovereignty. We also stand for our children in MMIW. We also walk with Black Lives, for Justice for Black Lives, Impact, and all of them that are doing the work. We have also stood with Decarcerate Sacramento. We have stood against the prisons, and we've been doing this work, and that's why we've all invited you guys all in. We want everybody to be doing this on some level. Go out there. Go out there and stand with people, even if it's not your movement. All of these movements are our movements, because if it's affecting one of us, it's affecting all of us, whether you know it or not. Okay? Just because it's affecting them over there doesn't mean that that over there isn't going to come and affect you too. Show up for other people the way you want people to show up for you. So I want to thank everybody for being here. I have stood with a lot of you in a lot of these movements, and I felt so honored. But I'm the founder of Women with Bows. We believe in unity. We believe in movement for justice. We believe in, like the Filipinos say, rise and fall. You come for one, you come for all, and they say it, isang baksak. Okay? Anyway, we're trying to transition from frontline. We're trying to transition from extreme mutual aid into sustainability. So we have a beautiful project called Fifth Wind, and the mayor has just agreed to sit with us and talk with us about Fifth Wind. We also want to start Fifth Wind with the unhoused population because we believe that we're going to start with the people that everybody else ignores. Because here's the thing, they got motivation. Camp Resolution showed you. They got it. They got heart, man. They fight when they got no home to go home to, but they are in those meetings. They are in that courthouse. They are telling the city how and why and when. I mean, when did the rest of us ever fought for anything when we had nothing? A lot of people can't even come out because they don't have something dealt with. Okay, Camp Resolution inspired us. We watched the people that had nothing do something big, and they kept going, even when they didn't think they were going to have somewhere to go home to. Okay, and the first people that's going to help you guys out and show up for you all are unhoused people. I've never been asked so much in my life since I was a kid by unhoused people if I'm doing all right. We should all be more like that. I've had these great people back here asking me if I'm okay. Do you need something? We can all learn from that. We can learn from every movement that's fighting and burnout too. But we want to bring a new solution, and it's one that involves community, unity, and sustainability. It's one that could possibly topple the system if the governing bodies choose to exclude themselves from it. They have a place at our table, and what it does is it allows unhoused people to grow their own food, build their own homes, govern their own communities, and then push it forward. This project will multiply and it will grow over time. This is a possibility of actually addressing homelessness and poverty in America. They'll be able to learn how to have their own business, grow their own food, harvest their food, can their food, jar their food, be able to make soaps and papers and all the other things that people love to buy, and be able to set up their own farmers markets and their own businesses and their own things, making it like transitioning back into society on their own terms. And that is very important. And as Indigenous people, like, we understand how important it is not to have to go into the colonization 9 to 5 and then we're going to tell you everything how to do it. No, we believe that healing is reconnecting to the earth. Healing is growing from the earth. Healing is a helping hand too. And so if you go to womenwithbows.org, we're going to start putting up Fifth Wind and what we're going to be doing, but it's on another level. It addresses housing, it addresses sustainability, food, it addresses water, solar, climate, all of the above, and it all works as one. And what it ends up doing is Women with Bows is dedicated and committed to staying and being a source of support. So we're not going to set these things up. The people that are participating are going to set these things up. We're just going to teach them how, and we're going to stay there and make sure that they know how to do it and they feel comfortable. You guys don't understand, like, please go visit Camp Resolution if you can. It's an amazing vibration over there. They're amazing people over there, and just so everybody knows, we're going to be starting Fifth Wind over there. So they want it, we love them. I hope they love us. But because when the city says no, we're going to go with anybody that's got a plot of land. We'll do Fifth Wind in pieces if we have to. We'll do it step by step, piece by piece, brick by brick. I don't care, but I got a spirit that's going to get it done no matter what. So when we told Camp Resolution that, they said, start it here. How do we start it on concrete? We're going to do it because Camp Resolution finds a solution. So when it looks like we can't, trust me, we will. They got spirit bigger than you know. We gonna get it done. They said put it on wheels. Put it on a board on wheels. Like, they got very innovative, okay? So we are gonna be working with Camp Resolution on getting Fifth Wind started, at least the sustainable food part started. And then if you all got property, let me know. Let us run this project. Help us run this project. Get to know your community. The government wants you to believe that black peoples are so scary, and native peoples are so scary, unhoused people are so scary, everybody's so scary except for the people killing you. Woo! We aren't scary. They aren't scary. Our black relatives are not scary. You understand? Your leaders are scary because they're lying to you. Your governing bodies are like all of them. All of them. Because when have you ever seen any of them put their own money forward to come out without a write-off, without getting publicity, without getting notoriety? You don't see that. Women with Bows, we put our own money in. We're not a nonprofit. We put our own money in and we fundraise. We have great supporters. And we put it to the people. And we document it to show our donors that we're doing what we have because we believe in transparency. For our children, for our women, for each one of you, trust and believe if one day y'all are down and out, all of us are the ones that are going to come. And when we get this food going, the unhoused are going to help you. We're going to help you. So that's what we're doing. And yeah, I'm not really a speaker all that much. I get on rants. I'm a ranter. I'm on a ranter. I'm like, fuck them, they're cool. I'm like that. But I'm trying to like mellow out a little. So it's good that y'all are mellow. But anyway, get involved. When you see an injustice, get involved. If you see someone getting arrested and it's just stop and put your video camera on because you never know. And when we're looking the other way, bad shit happens. Bad shit happens to indigenous people. Bad shit happens to unhoused people. When you see a sweeps going on, stop and record. Make those cops do their job the right way. Because if you don't, people get hurt. People get killed. And when we're not watching, there's no one to hold them accountable. So please get involved. Show up. You hear Decarcerate has an event going on, show up. Get your phones out and go get the numbers of these organizations, talk to them and show up. We need more than 10 people at a thing. We have a protest. We need more than 15 people showing up. We need you guys all showing up. Doesn't matter if it's your organization or not, and I can't say that enough. It does not matter. Show up. People need people to show up. Hell, we need people to show up. I'll be there. If you don't know anybody at all, I'll be there. I go to everyone I can. So you at least know someone. And you just tell them, Women with Bows, we're your friends. Okay, we're into education, we're into unity, we're into communication, we're into, trying to educate people the best that we can. And when I'm too rough and rowdy, and if she's too rough and rowdy, this one here, she smooths everything gently. So I'm like, and then she's like, okay, come here. What she's trying to say is this, So don't be afraid to talk to us. Don't be afraid to get involved. Don't be afraid to go get people's number, go get other pamphlets. Get involved. Start researching it online. There's 1 million organizations in this area, and they're all fighting for the same thing. We're fighting for justice. We're fighting for the right to exist. We're fighting for the right to be treated like human freaking beings. It's so simple. All right, who's that? And next, we're going to now bring up a group of people who have fought like no other person that you know in this world has fought for basic human rights. For basic human rights, and I can't repeat that enough. And these people have inspired us, and I hope that when they speak, they can inspire you. I don't know if you guys know them, but bring Camp Resolution up, please. And come share a little bit of your guys' journey because you guys did what nobody thought that you could do. And y'all did it. And you did it with style. And you did it with grace. And you did it with power. And it was beautiful. And we're hoping that Camp Resolution will be the new model in the way that we address homelessness and poverty in the state of California, because what they did is amazing. And now I'm going to let them tell you what they did.
Hi, I'm Camp Resolution, and I'm Joyce Williams and the founder. My wife, Sharon Jones. My family, this is Satara, one of the co-founders, another co-founder, and a new resident. I know you can't hear me, but a new resident as well. But I think about a year ago, it's coming on a year, when my sister-in-law was down in the flood part of the Holly, who's on the, we were in potential danger of flooding, and her mom and I thought, well, we need to get Holly because she's quadriplegic, so her mom and I, we had to think of somewhere to go safely for the winter, because we were normally going from the county side of the creek side over on into the over onto a business side. Well, we came about Camp Resolution on Colfax in Arden because they've been swept not once but twice, but it was an empty lot, $617,000 worth of taxpayers' money just on a fence. So Wood Street writers came from Oakland to talk to some folks here at the Capitol. And, well, that was my opportunity to host them at that camp at Colfax, and here we are now. 277 days later.
Yes.
And I'll just hand it over to maybe Satara. She can tell you a little bit about Camp Resolution.
Hi, everybody. My name is Satara. Camp Resolution has been a bunch of different things, you guys. It's been scary, it's been fun, it's been crazy, it's been hard, it's been progress being made every single day from everyone that's there. It's been a complete turnaround from the normal things that go on there, or the normal way that everybody looks at how camping people that camp are.
We're changing the narrative on it.
We're changing the outlook on homeless people every single day, because they try to put us all in one little box and, oh, they're this, they're that, they're this, they're that. No, we're just regular people like everybody else, you know what I mean? No one knows where no one's backstory is. Every one of us got a different story for how we came to where we are today, but we all got one goal in mind, which is to don't make us out to be something we're not. Can't put us all in a box. Can't put no two people in a box. Because we're all individuals, right?
That's right.
And it's not fair for them to take my circumstances. For like me personally, I'm just generationally cursed, with the bull stuff. I couldn't pick who my parents were. I never had, I've always been homeless from as far as I can remember. Because my mom was homeless, because her mom was homeless. You know what I mean? It's not fair for someone to judge me because of my life circumstances, because I didn't ask to be here. And I'm not crying about it either, because as I grow, things grow for me, So I'm gonna be okay, but it's just like, it's not fair, because I didn't get a equal start like every other child did, or you know what I mean. So I'm here, but I'm making the best out of it, and my situation every single day, just like everybody else at Camp Resolution.
That's right. Yes.
Because they don't want to help us do anything. They don't want to help us with water. They don't want to help us with nothing. Everything we got there and everything we've done there, we've done on our own.
And where this camp is located, it was one of the siting plans for the city that was squashed. They never told the people there. Well, I myself I'm a victim of a violent crime, and so is my wife.
So am I.
And we were put in the elements, and we're trying to make a negative into a positive. So, what better have 50 unhoused people all in one area? You know where we're all at, and it's organized. Come on by and check it out.
Come on by. Yes, come by.
And then we have, of course, the Sacramento Homeless Union as our liaison.
Hey everybody, I'm Crystal. I'm with the Sacramento Homeless Union, and I'm the Western Regional Director for the National Union of the Homeless. We have 27 unions currently in California, thousands of members, primarily all unhoused, 99.9% unhoused folks. But what I do gotta say is, with this fight with Camp Resolution, it really took the community coming together. As you were saying, like all these fights intersect. And so everybody coming together was part of the way that we were able to win this. The other part of the way that we were able to win this was, I believe in due diligence. I go to City Hall, I go to County Board of Supervisors. It's for due diligence. It's not for anything else. We do ask for what we need, such as water, power, and they continue to deny us while collecting billions of dollars off of those experiencing homelessness. It never makes it down to these folks, ever. Not in water, not in resources. I can tell you that the wait list for any type of like housing are years and years long, if you can even get that magic ticket of a voucher. So what I'm saying, I guess, is with the due diligence we ask, but when we don't get the answer that we need to protect the 20,000 currently on the street and the 10,000 more that are about to hit the streets in July, we take what we need, and we will continue to take what we need. This land is not for them to hoard. They're done protecting property over people, and we will continue to fight back. We will continue to mobilize, and we hope all of you are there with us to do this, because enough is enough. I mean, billions of dollars off of people dying on the streets. That's the reality of this.
The most money, you guys. California got the most money out of any other state. My mom lives in Oklahoma City, okay? We got Oklahoma City, we got 10 times more than they did. And my mom's been helped with her rent, her bills, and food more than 6 times in the last 7 months, she said. Where they pay it for you. Because Oklahoma, you don't really see no homeless people. No. You don't. I lived out there. I lived in Oklahoma City for back and forth. I've been going back and forth for like the last 5 years. 5 years I've been going back and forth. My mom just got a nice house, got a good job. Like, they care about their people out there. I have never seen nothing like this, like, for real. Right.
The other part of this is a lot of your guys' fights that we talk about, we know straight up the narratives are shifted. They're tweaked to make profit off of people. The fact of the matter is, unhoused people, they're our brothers and sisters. They're just like you and me. Most of them work. Most of them are just surviving off of what little they have. And in the meantime, our city officials, our county officials are dropping millions of dollars to criminalize them, sweep them, take away all of their belongings. And when I talk about a sweep, these are brutal. People generally die 1 to 2 days after a sweep, at least one person in their camps. And so we need to really shift this narrative. You know, they continue to say we can't solve homelessness. They continue to shove them from one street to the next street. But what are we really doing here? We're not solving homelessness. We're taking away their shelter. We are destroying their ice chests with their food. We're taking their medication. We are continually taking their identification and things like that. This is not rocket science, guys. We're in a housing and homeless crisis, and it's being state-created, in my view. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Susan Allhawk. I am Camp Resolution. Camp Resolution is I. That being said, I'm not a long-timer there. I've been there for approximately about 7 or 8 months. About 7 months, maybe, give or take. How I became into Camp Resolution is I basically was on Evergreen over there off of Arden, and we got tagged. When we got tagged, it was something. It had to be the devil knocking on my door, telling me, something's happening, and I'm gonna make sure it's gonna happen. But my Lord and Savior made sure it didn't happen. Only thing that happened was I had caught COVID. Me and my husband both caught COVID. When they came to sweep us, we had COVID. I thought I was going to die. I thought I wasn't going to see the next day to even be able to move anything that I owned, let alone worry about where my husband's going to go. I apologize if I get emotional, but it's an emotional situation. They came, they told us we had 24 hours. 24 hours with COVID, you can't do nothing. You can't do nothing. It's something that just takes you down, and then you want to give up. I've been homeless for 11 years. I've been out here for 11 years. My first place was Shanghai Bend in Yuba City, California. Okay? When me and my husband became homeless, we lost everything that we own, all the way to our name, our dignity, the people who we are and who we became at that time. Our identity was swept from us. There's thousands of dollars collected up on our name. It made it so bad that they red flagged our name. We do not have, right to this day right now, this has been like going on 7 years now, maybe, give or take. We don't have a real social security number. We have a temporary social security number, okay? Our date of birth is backwards because of identity theft. So if we were to even try to attempt to go into doors, we couldn't. We couldn't. Number one, because we don't make enough money. Number two, because our identity has been taken. We're supposed to own mansions in Hawaii, Seattle, Washington. I'm supposed to own Bentleys, Maseratis, 2023 Mercedes-Benz Maybachs. I can't even spell Maybach. And that's me being really serious. I'm street educational-wise. Me, school educational-wise, I didn't take the school thing. I took the streets. Why? Because I knew this is what my purpose was, the streets. This being said, a person who can work a regular job, I was working a regular job. I was making $17.50 an hour. I thought I was going to get me and my husband out of a situation that we're still in to this day. But I'm glad I didn't. Why? Because this comes back to the Camp Resolution and why I became who I am at Camp Resolution and how Camp Resolution became who I am. These women right here, this is just 3 or 4 of us here. We have 51 people, 51 residents. And we have a waiting list for people who want to be there with us. Why? Because first and foremost, we are not just global. We are nationwide known. Everybody in Japan, I'm doing history. I am a history person. I get on YouTube. YouTube is my favorite thing. Like, I got a sticker from my husband. YouTube is a YouTube certified mechanic. Well, I'm a YouTube certified information person. Okay? To what we are right now as Camp Resolution, everybody else wants. There's no other camp out here in Sacramento, Fresno, Los Angeles, hell, Connecticut, hell, let's say, Beijing. There is no other encampment like Camp Resolution that is self-governed. The women, we're mostly women there. We dominate over the men. Population of the men, there's probably maybe a hand and maybe a half a handful. We stand our grounds as being women there. We stand our grounds as our respects being there. And we're going to continue standing our ground as being who we are here with everybody else out here with us. And I want to say, every last one of you bodies that are out here, we say thank you. Thank you for coming out and, supporting everybody here. Because without you guys, there wouldn't be no Camp Resolution. There really wouldn't. Camp Resolution is Camp Resolution. We're at 2225 Colfax Street, Sacramento, California, 95815. Must I say that again? 2225 Colfax, Colfax Street. No, that's not better.
We're giving these people our address.
I don't care. They can come see us. We welcome them. Colfax Street.
You don't see the police running around?
And fuck the police. But anyways, Colfax Street, Sacramento, California, 95815. And there is a gate there. We open our gates for whoever wants to come in. Everybody. Bring water. Bring good vibes.
And bring yourself if you need water.
Please. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
All right, got just a little bit more, just a little history on Camp Resolution. Where is my Sharon at? Where did she go?
Sharon ran away.
Okay, so they've been there about 270 days. And how Camp Resolution came about, like what they were saying, is basically Oakland Wood Street folks, we had collaborated, and we took the property. We took it back. And then what happened was there was about to be a sweep. A lot of, I see some of the faces out here, amazing people, came to City Hall. And they basically were able to halt a sweep, which then gave the homeless union time to negotiate a lease. So we are a leased property, but we are self-governed. When we sit on the 4th floor of City Hall, they do not tell us what to do. We call the shots for Camp Resolution. So that's the importance of Camp Resolution. That piece has kind of been left out for some folks who may not know about it. I do want to interlink super quickly. Climate and homelessness. This is huge right now. We, for the last year and a half at the union, have had a lawsuit trying to stop the sweeps during this heat. What we're seeing is that they are sweeping individuals from shaded areas. And what we know is when it's 100 degrees outside, I spent last summer with a radar gun going from different locations, especially Del Paso Heights and South Sacramento, which lack tree canopy. So it's really hot there, and people, have asthma and different things that are on the streets. What they're doing is they're sweeping them into areas that are what we call a state-created danger. They're moving them from a relatively safe place that they've created for themselves, and they're moving them, forcing them into dangerous environmental circumstances. So right now, the city of Sacramento is trying to negotiate to kind of have us remove this lawsuit. They don't want to deal with it because what we're seeing is statewide climate is really affecting our unhoused communities. So with that being said, City Hall is out until August. But please write your local politicians and let them know that moving unhoused individuals, especially through sweeps, enforcement, and removing all of their belongings, is extremely dangerous. And we really need support to back this. I mean, we fought the sweep lawsuits left and right, but the climate is serious. People are dying out here in this heat right now. And so another thing we do want to point out is when it's 105 degrees outside and people are inside trailers, those things are registering at 220 degrees. Now imagine living in that when you have no respite. They refuse to open respites, and when they do, they don't notify the people that are experiencing homelessness. They put it on social media. Most people don't have phones, electronics, or ways to see that. And then they're also denying access to water. 60% of Sacramento has their parks in different areas where they've turned off the drinking fountains and closed up the bathrooms. And so this is a way to remove unhoused individuals from parks and recreation. And so again, as they say, water is life. People don't have water out here. They're in this heat. Just imagine not having water for days at a time, no sunblock, no shade, and being out on these streets. Thank you, guys.
Can I just say one last thing real quick?
Hey, speak your heart.
I don't know about you, but me personally, it is inhumane for me to tell somebody just because they're unhoused, just because they're on drugs, just because of however it is that they choose to live their lifestyle, every day when they wake up, for me to tell them that they cannot eat or drink something, they cannot bathe themselves, they cannot do the godly, the earthly things that we should naturally be able to do no matter what color you are, where you come from, how much money you make. Who are they to move somebody somewhere when they've created some type of shelter or something for themselves? Where are you moving them to? You don't have nowhere to take them.
Which is against federal law. Which is against the law.
Where you don't got nowhere for these people to go. But they'll come and take credit for 50 beds that we created, but don't help us with nothing. Give us pretty boxes to sleep in, but you can't use nothing in them. Who are they? Thank you, guys.
I just want to say one other thing because I want everybody here to remember this. When we have unhoused people saying like they're not giving us this and that, the reason why they're saying that, remember, the state and the cities are making money on their heads. So they're making money for these people and they're not giving them the resources that taxpayers are paying for the resources for these human beings. And it's not getting to them. It's going into the pockets of the so-called leaders. It's not acceptable. It's not right. It's not fair. It's not ethical. It's not okay. And we have to start getting this out further. We need to start talking further. That's what this is about, so we can all talk. Please do not hesitate to get out your phones and go talk to people. Start to get numbers. We need to form trees so that when things go down, we can call on you and you show up. We're in a humanity crisis right now, and it's going to get worse. And if it's not hitting you personally, trust and believe it's going to.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. My name is Betty Edwards, and I am a new resident at Camp Resolution. And I just want to tell you a little bit about my circumstances. A year ago, I had open heart surgery, and I'm on dialysis. And when I got out the hospital, I had nowhere to go. And so my brother... My brother bought me a camper, a trailer. He bought me him because I couldn't afford an apartment or anything, and so he bought me. I love my brother. He's in Arizona, and so he bought me a fifth wheel. Well, it happens to be a 1988, so it's an older model, but it doesn't leak in nothing. It's in good condition, everything, right? So now, where am I going to put it? So I was at my girlfriend let me use her front yard. Well, apparently her campers have to be on concrete, and she doesn't have a driveway. So code enforcement came and said it has to be moved. Okay, so now I got to find somebody with a truck to move my fifth wheel, and you got to put holes in it, to hook it all up and the latch on it and stuff. So I paid somebody to move it. Now I get SSI. I don't have money, I get SSI. I get one time a month, and that's supposed to last me all month. Okay, so all these little extra stuff I can't afford to do. I go without something to do what I need to do, and I had to move my trailer because I didn't want to lose it. My brother bought it for me. It's my home. So I moved it a block away. Now, mind you, I moved it in front of somebody's house, but I had to also pay them to leave my trailer there, okay? They eventually, it was there for like a month and a half or two, and so code enforcement came again, they tagged it. So I had to move it again. So I paid somebody again to try to move it into a car lot. And the people at the car lot said no, because they were having problems with the city. So now I don't know where to take it. So I took it back to the house where I was staying, where it was originally, but I parked it across the street. There's a school there that's it's not in function. It's all boarded up and stuff. Okay, I didn't put it on the school property. I put it alongside the school. Okay, then I got another ticket. They said it has to be moved in 72 hours because it's on school property, which it wasn't. This came by the Twin River School District Police wrote me, and they said that it had to be moved again. And I'm like, what am I gonna do? I don't want to lose it. This is my home, and I'm moving it from here to there to there to there, because trailer parks don't want to take older model trailers, even though there's nothing wrong with them. They want 2005 and up. Excuse me, but I can't afford that. I'm sure a whole lot of people can't afford that. I can pay the rent to rent a spot for it, but nobody wants to accept me because of my trailer. It's that part exactly. I went to I had a spot came available at Camp Resolution, and I went to an interview. And I was accepted. Then I gotta pay somebody else to go get pull my trailer up in there, and I did that though. And I'm so thankful. Like I said, I have no cartilage on either one of my knees, so when I walk, I'm bone to bone. I'm on dialysis. I'll be on dialysis for the rest of my life. And as you can see, my chest is split open from open heart surgery. I am struggling. I am struggling, but I have help now. Yes.
And I'm so yes. So I just want you guys, to know this is how it's not like somebody was saying earlier. We're not a bunch of just because I'm homeless. I wasn't. I was living in a home. I was sharing rent with my sister-in-law, and she moved to L.A. So and I had to go to the hospital for open heart surgery, and I came out and I had nothing. Luckily I have beautiful kids that took my stuff and put it in their storage. But that's how I'm able to have some of the things that I have. But other than that, it's like I didn't ask for this. I didn't ask to be homeless, and yeah, nobody does. We don't ask for it. Circumstances causes it, So when you see somebody, and they ask you for a sandwich or something, give it to them. The Bible says never deny a person food. When they need a drink of water or offer a drink of water or something, that's what we do at Camp Resolution. Yes. We do the best that we can, and we're self-sufficient. But we don't have water, we don't have electricity, but we have each other. You know what I'm saying? We do our best. We got campers and stuff. There's campers in there. We don't have generators. We can't afford that type of stuff. We just need a little help. So we're reaching out to you guys to go reach out to somebody else and let them know about us. Just put the word out. We're trying to do our best to be self-sufficient. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Can I sneak in? I'd like to invite our friends from Decarcerate Sacramento.
Hey y'all. Simple, I'm Mac. My pronouns are they, them. Long version of this is I'm one of your community local organizers here in Sacramento. You'll find me hanging out with the cool kids. I say this part a lot, hang out with the cool kids at Sacramento Tenants Union and Decarcerate Sacramento. We love Camp Resolution and all the cool kids over there and everybody else who showed up here today. Really want to give a special thanks to Women with Bows for creating such a space for people to come together. Just because, as Tanda just said, we are professional ranters. A great friend of mine actually says that we are professional shit talkers. And then when we all get together and talk shit about what's going on, then we all sit down and figure out what we're going to do about it. So it's very cool to sit in a space and do all of that with y'all today. I'll talk briefly on Decarcerate Sacramento, and not too briefly, but I know I got 12 minutes, but I also recognize you all will only keep like a third or a fourth of what I'm gonna say. So the most important things that I think that I wanna talk to y'all about is what Decarcerate Sacramento does. So we're an organization, we're your local abolitionist organization in town. We work to stop any and all jail expansions. We work to reduce our jail populations. And then we worked, and all in tandem with this, we work to demand the vital reinvestment in the proven preventions to harm and crime that we know exist. Things like food access, housing, mental health, substance use services, access to choice and opportunity. Those are the things that actually make our communities not only safer, but healthier, more vibrant, and therefore freer. Some work that we're doing right now that I would love to tell you about is that Decarcerate Sacramento has been working, and we've already stopped 3 jail expansions in Sacramento. I'll just shout that out. We've already stopped 3, but we are against another one. Sacramento County wants to invest over $400 million of our money into a mental health jail instead of a mental health hospital. Do you see how does that make any sense to y'all? Nah? Can I get a noise for what you think that? Yeah, boo, boo, boo. Yeah. So if you are interested in getting involved in that campaign and the many facets in which we're going to be attacking that, please come see us at the table. My card is up there. I'm on staff. If you're with an organization, please come and say hello. Because the thing that we're really doing to uplift the work to demand that vital reinvestment is we are creating a community care first coalition. We've already created it. There's many organizations who are a part of it. Anti-Police Terror Project, MH First, Sacramento Area Congregations Together, Justice to Jobs, Decarcerate, the Tenants Union, Sacramento Homeless Union, and so much more. And all of us together last winter got together to build a report. We interviewed folks inside the jail, outside probation offices, in unhoused encampments, held a large, wide listening session to gather information from folks to tell us what were the things that you needed to not end up in situations like this? What are the things that you need to not end up in situations like this? And what are the things that will make you and your community feel more vibrant, healthier, and safer? Of course, that culminated in over 30 recommendations for policy and budget priorities that looked like investments into our social determinants of health, that looked like investment into publicly owned and socially owned housing, that looked like investment into community care and alternatives to incarceration. And so what we're trying to do is build up this Community Care First Coalition. So that way it's not just the abolitionists at Decarcerate Sacramento who are saying housing deters crime, but this entire community is coming with data-driven experience and expertise to say that these are the things that we want in our care economy rather than our carceral economy. Some things that I want to just name for y'all right now if you don't already know. Your general fund here in Sacramento County. On the city level and the county level, I'll give you both. On the county level, 72% of your general fund money goes to cops, courts, and cages. Only 3% into things like human assistance. On the city level, 37% goes to cops, 40% goes to fire, and only about 3% goes into youth investment programs. So this, right? Woo! So this, right? I think like what we try to drive home at Decarcerate Sacramento and in the Community Care First Coalition and then all of us really is that it's the austerity that creates the harm. The austerity that creates the reason for quote unquote crime. People don't take unless they can't have, you know, like that's the truth. And so when we invest in us, when we invest in our basic needs, when we invest in our social determinants of health, not only what are we creating is like a safer place, but again, we're creating that access to choice and opportunity where we're valuing each community member for the gifts that they can give to making a more innovative society. Yeah, I'm so glad y'all are into it. And so, like I said, please come and see us over at the Decarcerate Sacramento table. We would love to get you involved in not only our campaign, but just get involved in the work that you're doing. Because something that I'm going to finish my talk about is that I just came back from the Weelaunee Forest. I was in Atlanta, Georgia for the week of action to Stop Cop City. Have you all heard of that? Stop Cop City? Can we get a Stop Cop City? Stop Cop City! Stop Cop City! Yeah, because the same friend who taught me that we were professional shit talkers who sit around and do things about it is the same friend who reminded me that every city is Cop City. Every forest is Weelaunee Forest. And what we're seeing out there is in such a stratified environment, the way forward is all of us coming together regardless of our topic or our niche area of expertise. Because what they're talking about there is not just land back and indigenous struggle, is not just genocide and crisis, is not just over incarceration of our neighborhoods and policing of brown and black communities, but what they are talking about is a movement that's similar to what we're talking about here with our Alternatives to Incarceration roadmap. They are dreaming of a world that invests in us and our community, not creates systems of incarceration and places that train law enforcement across the country and the world to quell our dissent when we come to the streets saying that we're hungry, when we're saying that we're too hot. What do you think they're going to do when we start to run out of water? They're going to hoard it, and then they're going to send law enforcement into the streets to beat us back when we demand something different. That's where you see the investment going into from the elite, right? And I know that's kind of grim, but sitting in parks like this with y'all make me have hope that we're gonna do something cool about it. We're gonna talk shit about this fuck shit, and then we're gonna do things about it. So again, thank you for your time. if you are interested in hearing more about the work that we're doing, the Community Care First Coalition, Decarcerate Sacramento, please come and find me at the table. I'll also be walking around. And make sure you get some cool patches. These are going out, and I don't want them to not get them, y'all. Again, my name's Mac. Have a great day.
We got to liven you guys up. Where's the energy here? Where's the energy? Y'all like, yes. We are fighting for justice. Woo. What's that? Come on. Get it. Get up, man.
Not even that hot yet.
It's not even that hot yet. All right, so we're going to take a little bit of a break, and then we're going to have some really also amazing people coming up, and they're going to share a little bit about what's going on in the environment. And it is also, we are in an environmental crisis. We're in a humanity crisis. We are in crisis, and we need to get together and get going soon.
All right, hi everyone. My name is Bug. We're from Sacramento Punks with Lunch. We're just a mutual aid. We help with diverting food waste from grocery stores, restaurants, catering services, etc., into mutual aid services. Oh, hey, it's Amy. Oh, hey, Amy. So yeah, that's essentially our goal right now. We are at City Hall about 5-ish p.m. on until during the City Hall meetings, providing services to our neighbors out that way.
Every Tuesday night, come out, have a meal, share a meal.
Yes. It's not just for our houseless neighbors, it's for everyone. All of it is free because of your guys' support. So any support that is helping for us, it just goes back into the community, and we really support that. So thank you guys so much for doing that.
Thank you. Up the lunch.
Yes, up the lunch. Thank you so much, Women in Bows. You guys are awesome.
Up next, we have Alicia with Mother's Rebellion.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. What a great day this is turning out to be. It's supposed to be like 100 plus. And woo! And thank you, Christina. Oh, that was absolutely wonderful. So my name's Alicia, and I'm here with Mother's Rebellion. We're over here. We're an affinity group of Extinction Rebellion. And, we're just trying to get everybody together, all the groups together. We could get moms, all the moms. Wow. Everybody has a mom, so... At any rate, I'm not real good at ad-libbing, so I'm going to read my little speech so I don't leave anything out. I'm here today to show solidarity with all the groups represented here, as well as a lot of the groups who couldn't be here. We, Mother's Rebellion, are in partnership with Mother's Rebellion groups around the world. In Sweden, Germany, Africa, New Zealand, Uganda, Zimbabwe, Finland, Australia, and cities in the U.S., including New York, Chicago, Pasadena, L.A., and Sacramento. We are growing, and we just had a Zoom meeting Sunday. There's 37 women on our group, and we're planning our next rebellion in September. But we're going to partner with some local groups. So be on the lookout for an action in September. Mother's Rebellion is a global worldwide network of mothers, grandmothers, aunties, sisters, daughters, allies. That's everybody. We are facing a climate emergency. We know that those least responsible for the climate crisis are also the ones most impacted. We believe the power of mothers and caretakers to demand climate justice. We believe in the power of mothers, and mothers are universal. Throughout history, mothers have stood up and fought injustice, and now we want to do the same. We believe that mothers have the power to reach out into the hearts, minds, and souls of not only our politicians, but every human on this planet. We want to invite you to join us. In Sacramento, Mother's Rebellion Global is reaching out to many other climate justice groups sharing similar demands. Even if you are part of another climate group, let's work together on behalf of all of our children and 7 generations into the future. We refuse to look away. We refuse to give up. We will do everything we can. It's time to take our despair, worry, and love for our children and everyone's children and turn it into action. We believe that mothers can make a difference, and we hope you will join us. Our demands include tell the truth, number 1. 2, act now for zero carbon by 2025. And 3, be led by citizens' assemblies. It's time we all join together and get as many of us together and out in the streets for nonviolent civil disobedience on behalf of our children and the future of Mother Earth. We share a booth over here with Extinction Rebellion, so if you have any questions, come on over. Thank you.
Thank you, Alicia. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for coming out today. So we are all here today to talk about community unity, particularly the need for justice within multiple arenas. And today I want to talk a little bit about big oil, youth, and climate justice. A lot of people come up to me and talk about how it's such an anomaly that youth are getting involved in this kind of movement. But the thing is that the climate justice cause impacts youth quite a lot. Here in California, we live in what is purportedly one of the greenest states in the nation. But despite all of that nice messaging, we have some of the dirtiest oil in the nation, and we are also a massive oil producing state, to the detriment of both my generation, who are set to inherit this planet, and the thousands of Californians who live near oil and gas projects, the majority of which are low-income people of color. Today, we are here to call upon Governor Newsom to take the action that Californians so desperately deserve. Governor Newsom has always had high political aspirations, and there are even rumors that he is gearing up to run for president in 2028. We need to tell Governor Newsom that his political ambitions don't matter if our communities are not receiving justice. We need justice for people of color, for indigenous people, for low-income people, for every single person who is impacted by the climate crisis. And we need justice for my generation. Despite the fact that we have not caused this crisis, it is something that we are set to inherit. And it's absolutely essential that we tell politicians that we refuse to stand idly by while our futures are actively destroyed. People are truly more important than profit and more important than the profits of the fossil fuel industry. I am here today with Fridays for Future Sacramento. I am the founder of Fridays for Future, and we are a youth-led climate organization here in Sacramento fighting for systemic change. We believe that as the ones who are going to be impacted by this crisis, youth must be at the forefront of climate justice leadership. A person is never too young to get involved. I am 17 years old right now, and I started Fridays for Future when I was in 7th grade and 13 years old. Our politicians have no excuse not to take action if the youngest members of our communities are actively fighting for change. If you are a young person watching this video, or if you are here today, I highly, highly encourage you to check out Fridays for Future, to educate yourself on the climate crisis and to mobilize your communities. Because the reality of the fact is that without people power, we cannot defeat the fossil fuel industry. However, even though fossil fuel companies have money, they don't have people power and they don't have passion. You all here today give me hope that we can defeat the climate crisis. Yeah, I mean, give yourselves a round of applause. You guys are the one here fighting for change. You are on the right side of history. So thank you to everyone who organized this lovely event. Thank you to all of you guys for being here today. And thank you for all of your work. Thank you, everyone.
Can we get another round of applause for that young person right there? Hello. When I was their age, I was just running around like, yeah, you know. Our youth are articulate, and they are so full of passion, and they're going to change the world, and they're picking up the slack where we have failed. So I want everybody to keep that in mind. What that young person should be doing is going to the mall and hanging out with their friends and going to the beach, but they're protesting. They're starting movements for their future. Because we are failing. We have to get ready to get crazy, radical, louder, so that our children can be children. We are stealing their youth. Someone that young shouldn't be so articulate in climate justice. Come on. So just please think about that. we're putting our children in these positions where they have to be like that awesome.
I am representing a community here called the Sacramento Climate Coalition and a statewide community called California Climate Voters. And we have 2 calls to action that we need your help. One is next Tuesday, our county supervisors are going to have a proposal in front of them to weaken the climate emergency declaration that, together with the 37 organizations, many of whom are here today, we got passed in 2020 that put a carbon zero goal for the county by 2030. They want to change it to 2045. Let's show up. Yeah, boo, come on, boo. Let's show up next Tuesday, 9:30 a.m. over here at 700H at the county supervisors and let them know we don't approve. Stay the course. 2030 for the youth, for the future of our planet. We are in a climate emergency. The other community I want to encourage you, and I want to thank all of you who came from the Bay Area today, the fact that we have a broader community here today. This is a statewide effort. It's a national, it's a global effort to stop climate change.
Ramona Landeros is known as the new hope for that area. She's going to run for District 2, and we hope that everyone will pass the word. Let everyone know that we have a Native American woman and Latina that is going to be able to change the face of Sacramento City Council. Her father was Apache, her mother is Latina, and she is 42 years working in that District 2 neighborhood. All the neighborhoods, the culturally diverse neighborhoods, know Ramona intimately because of the work that she's done, tireless work in being able to provide for the poor in that area. Ramona Landeros, let's get her elected March the 5th for District 2, the North Sac area. Because you know what? We ain't got nobody else that cares as much as she does. And she's proven her self-worth to the Samoan, to the Tongan, to all of the Vietnamese, to Pakistani, Latino, and many diverse cultures, neighborhoods are supporting her. She may not have the money, but she's got most of the votes right now. Thank you very much. Remember, Ramona Landeros, District 2, election March 5th. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Megan is one of our superstars in our community, and she definitely shows up for a lot of different causes. So I think she really embodies the spirit of what Tanda has been telling us about, showing up for all sorts of different movements. Megan definitely shows up for a lot of people, so we're really happy to have her here.
Good afternoon. If you're not all sleeping from that nice lunch, from that nice lunch you just had, I would like to tell you a little bit about Move to Amend. The reason I want to tell you about Move to Amend is it's the root cause of any of your other issues. I don't care if you're LGBTQ, if you're fighting for climate, if you're fighting to end oil, if you're fighting for women's rights, whatever your other issues are, Move to Amend should be your secondary issue. And the reason is you cannot pass laws without the permission of corporations in our corporate rule society. And Move to Amend wants to make it clear by amending the Constitution that the constitutional rights protected under the Constitution were the rights given to natural persons only. Artificial entities, such as corporations, which are basically a piece of paper that allows you to do business, to be sued and get sued, and you're a business, that's all it is. And you have no rights under the Constitution. Only human beings do. And if we make this amendment part of our Constitution, then the Supreme Court will have to rule based on the Constitution. And they will not be able to give corporations rights, which they have been doing for the past 130 years. When our country first started, no corporation had any constitutional rights. What happened is the oil barons and the land barons, the railroad barons got together and started packing the Supreme Court with people that would support their agenda. And that's where we are today. We have a Supreme Court that does not rule for the people. It rules against the people almost every time when a corporation is fighting against a city, a state, a person. They almost always lose. And the Supreme Court rules in favor of the corporation's right to make money and to do their thing. So if we pass this amendment, you'd be able to pass laws that protect people and protect the environment, to protect the earth, to give the earth rights that corporations now have. So I would encourage you all to do your secondary activism under Move to Amend. Sign our petition. That way your representatives know by zip code how many people are for this amendment, and it puts pressure on them to support it. And you can also send postcards like this to your representatives and your senators asking them to pass this amendment or to introduce the amendment in the Senate. So this is the way to change our Constitution without having a revolution that would hurt people. This is a peaceful revolution. And I really encourage you to join us at Move to Amend and make this happen. So thanks very much, and I hope to see you at my table.
So we have a new friend to me, new to me, Kevin, with Redemption Row, California.
Hello, everyone. I'll make this brief. My name's Kevin. I know some of you. I work with a nonprofit called Redemption Row, California. We are run out of Calipatria and Donovan prisons down in San Diego. If you look on our website, you'll see our board is basically half in prison and half out of prison. We get a lot of lifers out. That's kind of what we do. A lot of people who've been in for 3, 4, 5, 6 decades in the California penitentiary system. Obviously, the reform part wasn't done on the system, by the system, so we have created, with the help of inmates and mostly the alternative to violence programming that came out of the Attica riots, that the prisoners and inmates created to avoid future riots. So that foundation we have sort of brought into the present with modern psychological, anthropological, and sociological aspects. We reform prison yards. We take people from reactive violent states to ones where they recognize why they make the decisions they do and work on that. We have a lot of kind of what you'd call big scary looking people who cry and hug each other and heal each other, and it's beautiful. And you can hear a whole lot of fun stories as well. So check it out online or on Instagram, Redemption Row, California. We do amazing work. Jen is our president. She is the one who makes all the wheels go around. She is always doing more than any one person should. But check us out. We're always out here trying to help. If you know someone incarcerated or formerly incarcerated, tap in because we can definitely help out. So thank you for your time.
Hi guys, once again, I'm up here. Hope you guys aren't getting too sick of me yet. I wanted to talk a little bit about MMIW. MMIW, for those who don't know, is a crisis that we face every single day. When people say that our genocide has stopped or that our genocide was so long ago, I'm living proof, and I am standing up here telling you that that is not true. It happens daily on our reservations. With MMIW, the majority of us have faced sexual violence in our lifetime. Did you know that California has one of the highest numbers of MMIW cases? Yet, you guys have probably not even heard about it, have you? They don't talk about it. They don't talk about these things, but our numbers are lowering by the day. More than half of us have experienced this. The majority of cases are never even reported. The majority of families never get answers. The majority of people don't even know that it's happening, but it's happening right here, right in our backyards. These trafficking rings are going on. Right in our neighborhoods. Now I'm going to tell you how does MMIW link in with the pipelines? How does it link in with the climate change crisis? Well, I'll tell you. With pipelines comes man camps. These man camps are set up so close to our reservations. Women go walking alone. Children go walking alone, and they're never seen again because of these man camps that sit so close to our homes. So close that the pipelines that drip infect our water, and they infect our elders and our children. So many people dying from cancer, dying from the water. And just right now in the Navajo Nation, the government is refusing to give them access to clean water now. During COVID, the Navajo Nation was sent body bags and toe tags instead of face masks and sanitizer. Those are the things that our indigenous communities face daily. These are some of my greatest fears, being an indigenous woman presenting, but being a woman who's also two-spirit. I'm nearly 25 years old, and I don't go anywhere alone. I'm not allowed to go out with my friends like some people. Some people, they don't think twice. They're able to go out with their friends a night on the town with the girls, woo, I'm not able to experience that because of my mom's fear of me becoming a statistic. My fear of becoming a statistic. When I want to have alone time, too bad. I gotta just sit in my own backyard because I can't. The streets are not safe for me, or people like me, or people that look like me. It's not even safe to go anywhere wearing my traditional outfits without fear of being attacked by Proud Boys and white men with a racist agenda. So many of us experience this. And it is a fear that is constant, a fear that never goes away, this black shadow standing over your shoulder 24/7. The majority of men who commit these crimes commit them on reservation land. 67% of all sexual violence is committed by non-Native men. Now, when these Native men go onto our reservations and they leave, they can never get tried. They can't get tried in a court, meaning that these men literally never get caught. These are just men that are driving through our territory, stopping at our gas station, stealing our women, raping our children, and then leaving scot-free. And nobody talks about it. And the couple shows that they did have aired, like Alaska Daily. How many of you guys have seen that show? Yeah? Okay, good, fair amount of numbers have seen that show. It was a pretty good show, pretty informative about the stuff that's going on in our communities. But just after its second season, it was canceled. I wonder why. I wonder why. Too much truth, too little action. Would you like to speak on these issues? Okay.
Everybody give a big O for Tatumn because in in Miwok and Pomo and a lot of California natives, that is how we say like our clapping. That's our way of clapping and saying like, yes, we agree, we appreciate that. So can we all get a big O? Thank you. So for the ones that weren't here earlier, Machexis everybody, Oyaset, Sage Noel Telez Ortiz. My name is Sage Noel Telez Ortiz. I come from the Ion Miwok band, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about MMIW. MMIW, a lot of it happens on reservations, but it also happens off of reservations. The unhoused communities of Native people, they suffer so much. Not only people don't care for the unhoused communities, nobody cares for an unhoused Native person. I speak from experience because my cousin a few months ago, he was found wrapped in his body in his sleeping bag with several wounds, and he eventually passed away. His life was taken away from him. This happens to so many of our Native relatives all across Turtle Island, and a lot of people think that it only happens in Canada. No, it does not. Happens everywhere. Everywhere is stolen land. That's Native stolen land. And these pipelines, these fossil fuels, that takes a huge part of where these missing people, like, it's crazy how high the numbers are, especially in New Mexico right now. I have a friend right now, her name is Alexa, she's Laguna Pueblo. Her auntie has been missing for a really long time because there's people that pretend to work for those oil companies. These men, they pretend to work for those companies. And then they kill these women, they kill these girls, they kill these two-spirit people, even little boys or men. The statistics are just getting higher and higher as the year passes and a new one comes. And a lot of people don't know, too, that Pocahontas, that movie is fetishization of Native women. That wasn't even her real name, it was Matoaka. She didn't run away with John Smith to go marry him and have a good life. She was a child and she was kidnapped. A lot of people just disregard that. Thank you.
I also I want to add to that last bit that Sage was saying about Matoaka. When the movie Pocahontas was made, there was an outcry from the Native community, and the numbers they flooded the streets. They protested and boycotted that movie because of its origins. You know, it was a very real, very tragic story, and she was taken as just a little girl, and she was forced on these European boats and taken to the New World, where she was assaulted many times by many men on those boats. So when people talk about John Smith and Pocahontas, oh, I love that movie, Colors of the Wind, you know. She was one of our first MMIW, one of the first, but there was many who were also before her as well. Despite the Native outcry when that movie was made, they made a second one. So yeah, go Disney, right?
And they still have the mascot at Disneyland.
Yeah, they do. They still have the mascot at Disneyland and Disney World. So that's just some of the stuff that we deal with. We deal with a lot of other things in our community, so definitely do some research and look into those statistics of MMIW. Start talking to people about it. Start talking to, even if you're comfortable talking to the government officials about it, talk to them and tell them to make it a national state of emergency, because it is. They've already done it in some places up in Canada. It is a national emergency, and it should be treated as one. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so in honor of our MMIW and all of our women who are still out there on the front lines fighting for climate justice, fighting for their relatives, fighting for clean water, fighting for sovereignty, fighting to be acknowledged on this land, we're going to do a couple women warrior songs. So, thank you. Oh, you want to say something?
As we kind of end sort of the speaking portion, and I want to encourage everybody to continue to talk, continue to socialize. This is how we build a movement, is when we continue to talk with one another, share experiences, real life experiences. When we share our movements together and say, hey, I'm a safe space, come in and learn, because we have to be patient to learn. And the things that we're all fighting for are very heartbreaking. These things shouldn't be happening, not on this land, okay? And one thing we haven't mentioned yet, and I really want to mention, is our fight with ICWA. The Supreme Court wanted to overturn ICWA. They did not overturn ICWA. And ICWA is the Indian Child Welfare Act. And It protects indigenous children, indigenous households. And I have a personal connection to it because when I was young before ICWA. I'm a product of what happens when we don't have ICWA. And what they did was they stole innocent children and they put it from their native families. Okay, and they used to steal us. The church stole me. And then they sold me to a white Christian family, which I have no contact with now. It was abusive. It made me feel less than. I was never good enough. It was important. It places children, native children, in the homes of their native tribe so that we don't lose our culture, so that we have family that's with us. However, ICWA was saved, okay? They weren't allowed to overturn ICWA, but yet Chanel, I don't know if you guys are online, but if you've heard the name Chanel, she's a native baby who was placed in a white oil drilling family. And they are racist as hell to her. Please look that up. It's under Save Chanel. And here's the deal. These parents of Chanel, these foster parents of Chanel, are treating her as though she is an animal. I understand that. I was treated the same way. ICWA being saved only goes so far. We need you guys to know our story. Because the government only listens to you guys. We're invisible in our own country, in our own land. People don't listen. And the ones that do want to listen, we get cut off. You guys are just now learning of our issues, but we've been having these issues for over 500 years. I want to say that the reason I'm here, I made this for community to come together. We are fighting for our children, even if those children are 40 years old. We're all somebody's child. And when we say every child matters, we matter. I fight because I didn't have anybody to fight for me. So that's why I fight. But we have children that are being taken at the hands of the church still. The church is abusive. 10,000 plus indigenous children were taken by the hands of the church. They were taken by the church, and they were beat, and they were starved, and they were sexually assaulted, murdered, and then thrown in a shallow grave like they didn't even matter. And we haven't gotten them back yet. We still haven't even reached the numbers. They estimate over 140,000 of our children, and we only have 10,000 back. And they want you to believe that it's all up in Canada. It's here. When they're returning the babies, they're returning them here to us. We went all the way to Rosebud to bring some relatives home and lay them to rest. And they still haven't given us all of our babies back. So when we talk about ICWA, the Indian Child Welfare Act, being so important, it's somewhat important. But understand, they're still doing it. They wanted to overturn it because they wanted to overturn it, and the family that wanted it overturned because of racism, they're related to the oil industry. They were backed by the oil industry because in this country, in your America, us indigenous people are the only real resistance because we are sovereign nations. If they're allowed to eradicate us all, everyone's so screwed. When we have clean drinking water, and trust me, we appreciate other organizations that are fighting against the pipelines, but understand, in a court of law, it's our sovereignty that is stopping these pipelines.
But understand that the government is working day in and day night to eradicate us. Because once they can eliminate our numbers and they can eliminate our claim to a land, then they own that land. You see, that's how America works. Once indigenous people cannot be on a land because they've killed us all, then they own the land. Because where the land is abandoned, the U.S. government stakes claim. That's how it works. So when you understand why they treat us the way we do, they're trying to kill us. They're trying to kill our children. Everything else is a distraction. When we were fighting ICWA, they started taking rights away from LGBTQ people. Why is that? It's so that nobody would know what we were doing. They do it every single time, and I know you don't want to believe that they do, but they do. They do it every single time. Every time we're fighting to save not just us, but everyone, they do some major stupid ass crazy, like you can't even believe they're doing that. That's what they do. When we were fighting for the land and the water, on one of the biggest like bodies of water that runs through the entire country, they took women's rights away. We're all being controlled by them. That's why we're having this right now. Because we can no longer be controlled by them. We have to roll as one body now. We have to roll as one movement, and we all have something to bring to the table. You see, Ilanka, she got that organizing. Okay, we need that. We got Extinction Rebellion over here, a bunch of old timers, old water protectors from way back. We need that. Okay, we got punks with lunch that are serving the community. We need that. Okay, everyone here has something to offer, all of the movements as a whole. And when we come together as one in a united front, there's nothing that's impossible. There's nothing that we can't do. But us as indigenous people, black people, white people, we have to get together and we have to work together and we have to talk and we have to share knowledge and we have to share resources and we have to, because if we don't, ain't none of us gonna be here.
Remember, we're fighting for climate justice for who? For us? No, for our children. We're fighting, Decarcerate Sacramento's fighting against the prison system. For who? For our children, for your children, for all the children, okay? We're fighting too for our children. The children are the future. Okay, all of these fights have to do with the future generations and our children and the way that the United States is violating them. And we have to stand up, and we have to do it now. I want to keep reiterating that. In case you're not listening, in case you took a sip of soda, in case you needed to walk over there for just a minute and you're just coming back, I want you to know that our children are the future. You see, the United States knows that. That's why they don't give them a voice, and they don't give them a vote, and they don't look at them, and they don't give a shit. That's how the church is able to molest and sexualize our children. That is the reason why nothing is done about it. That is the reason why rich guys get to violate our children and nothing's done about it. You know, this country here, people celebrate the 4th of July, but this country here was founded on pedophilia. It was founded on theft. It was founded on genocide. And you should be pissed off. And if you think I'm just talking about me, I'm not just talking about me, I'm talking about every one of you too. The numbers will blow your mind. It's 1 in 3 children. 1 in 3. 1 in 3 children will be sexually assaulted in their lifetime. Okay? There's a chance that you know someone with cancer. That's the fracking. It's in the water. It's going to affect your children. We got whole hospitals full of children that are dying for the government's greed of oil, crude oil, gas, petrol. This is about our children. They want you to think it's about us. We're just trying to save the children, the next generation. I would love to see a generation of children that don't have to join protests and don't have to know in the ins and out of everything that's going on because it affects their lives dramatically. I want to see a time when children can be safe and be children. And a lot of that's going to come from the returning of our children. Someone once told me, until people start to put indigenous issues at the forefront of your fight, then America will continue to collapse in on itself, and that is absolutely true. The land remembers us, the water remembers us, and you need us as much as we need you. So please, everybody, that's the one thing I want you to keep in mind when you walk away from this. We need each other. We have to, for our children. Thank you.
Land back means to me being able to go to my sacred sites without tourists being everywhere. It's really bad out there, y'all. I recently went to go pray on the ocean and couldn't even find space on the ocean. It looked like Tent City out there. You know, so many people, and they're just leaving their garbage everywhere and not even enjoying the sound of the waves. So land back to me would ultimately mean being able to go to my sacred sites without having to see that everywhere, with people just being able to know, respect the land and respect one another and respect the creatures that are there. So that's what land back means to me. Oh.
I want to first say thank you for coming out. Thank you for staying. I want to say I truly love you guys. I truly love people. I truly love animals, really, but I truly love the planet and the water. And I truly love you guys and all of the people out there. And that's why our team fights as hard as we do in all of the different movements, because we really do love you guys. And we really do see a better day coming. And we want to be part of bringing that better day to the planet. We're going to close out a little bit. I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for coming. And from what I understand, a lot of the organizations that were here and people that were here that aren't here anymore, everybody wants to keep doing this. They want to grow it. That sounds like a good idea, yeah?
I think it's a good thing that we do, and I think that's what my team's going to do. We're just getting involved with things that can grow. And we have to remember at the end of the day, like, we're all human beings. Yes, we have our cultural differences, and yes, we have our skin color differences, and yes, we have our different teachings that we've all learned, and a lot of us have been colonized to think a certain way, and it's about decolonizing that, but along with that comes patience. We have to be patient as we walk forward. We have to be kind as we walk forward, and we have to be willing to help and understand. If you look around you and there ain't nobody to help, please go out of your way and find somebody to help, and then help them. That's how we become better. That's how we bring the new day in. That's how we really start to change things. Colonization is an I concept, okay? Everything is I, me. And decolonization is about we and us. Colonization says we'll never get ahead. Decolonization is we're good where we are. We're just going to grow it. Okay, the most radical thing that you're going to do in 2023 is unite and then grow something. Grow a garden. Grow a community. Grow the love, even through if you're hurting. A lot of my people are hurting a lot. Please be patient with my people. You need somebody to come to that's ready to talk, I'll talk. You meet my people and they're not ready to talk to you. It's okay. They're traumatized. Let them be in their trauma for a minute. Come to me. We're Women with Bows. Go to womenwithbows.org. Write me. I'm willing to talk to you right now. But we're trying to get all of our people. And I'm talking about black people too, LGBTQ people. We're trying to get people out of trauma. Colonization traumatizes us over and over and over again. And the only way we're going to get out of it is together. That's it. So those of you that are willing to learn, learn. Those of you willing to teach, teach. If you have knowledge, share it. If you have resources, share it. All of us organizations, we do out of pocket. We're all by the skin of our teeth all the time. But we do it because we care and we believe in what we're doing. And basically hang tight, and we're going to do this again and come out again. And we're going to talk about new things again, because it's always evolving. It's always growing. The madness that's going on that we're all trying to fight is also growing. So we need this movement to grow. Show up. Show up for movements that are not your own. Before you leave, get the numbers and contact information of other people doing something that you yourself don't do. Okay? If you don't know anything about the prisons, go talk to Decarcerate Sacramento. Talk to Curb. They're over there too. Talk to them. Get to know them. And go without judgment. If we all approach new situations understanding we know nothing, then we can learn everything. Okay? And if somebody says this is happening to me, don't respond saying, no, that's not happening to you. That's not helpful. That's hurtful. Especially when it's happening to us. And a lot of people that are lighter of skin don't think that there's any place in this world for you, but there is. There is, but you have to learn first where we're coming from. Our experience isn't the same as, say, your experience. We need to share experiences. You see, that's how we begin to learn one another. That's how we see each other as human beings. That's where we get that inspiration to fight for one another, because then you begin to love one another the way that we're supposed to do, the way that we were supposed to do. Colonization is hate. Decolonization is love. Remember that.
Thank you, Tanda, for your wise words. And thank you so much for sharing your medicine with us. What we've witnessed here was medicine. We're healing with each other. We're healing together. And I just feel so honored to have put this together. I think it was a cool demonstration of us really coming together as different movements and learning from each other. So just thank you so much for your leadership in this and for doing the hard work. Tanda and Women with Bows are out there every day helping other people. That's what they do. So I just really appreciate them and your leadership.
Don't let Alonka tell you all these things. This right here, this person right here put all this organized. I'm not real organized. As the first person to say, Tanda, we need to do a schedule. And I said, what's the schedule? You know, like, I don't understand. Send me your notes on this meeting, okay? And I said, my notes are written on the back of a plate that I just had pizza on. I don't know what you want. You want me to take a screenshot or like a picture and send it? And so, but I've gotten better. But yeah, thank you to Ilanka and her whole crew and Mother's Rebellion, Decarcerate Sacramento, Punks with Lunch, all of you guys, the Amend people. I mean, just everybody. And thank you, everybody. I had to say that. Thank you for keeping me on track, Ilanka. You know, when I first met Ilanka, I was like, I don't know about Ilanka. and then I had to like call Ilanka for something because she was like, let's do something together. And I was like, I don't know about it, but sure, yeah, we'll do it. And I told my team, I don't know about Ilanka. I don't know. She's real excited. You know, I don't know about it. But then as we grew, as we started talking and collaborating, and now we have a friendship. And so, yeah, if you want to know anything climate, these people right here are climate. Mother's Rebellion and Gas and Oil Network, they're all about climate. You want to know anything? Go to these guys. Okay, and they're like the greatest people. And so, yeah, that's when I say don't judge, don't judge. I got my own traumas almost kept me away from this amazing human being right here. So don't do it. I make mistakes. When you make mistakes, be conscious of it, change it, and then drop that judgment and get to know a person. And if you're American that really loves America and you're here, understand that your President Abraham Lincoln said, I don't like that guy over there. I better go get to know that guy over there. So remember that, okay? Know people before you judge them. Here, Ilanka, I'll give you the mic now. Never mind, I won't. No.
That's it. Thanks, everybody. Thank you for being here. Make new friends. Do good work. If you get tired, take a nap. Then get back up and help somebody again. That's it.
Don't forget to get those numbers.
Yeah, get people's phone numbers.
Talk to people you don't know.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.